Good morning, everyone. Today I am on the East Coast, so it's actually a little bit after noon here. Normally I'm on the West Coast at this time and I'm just getting up, but today we're already partway through the day. And so this is my Grief Inspired Live, and I'm so glad that you're here. I'm glad that you found me. And what I do at Grief Inspired Live is I really do my best to help other women, moms, people who are like me, who have suffered the loss of a child, loss of a pregnancy, a miscarriage, a stillbirth, and let you know that you're not alone, and to give you some tips and some tools based on what I've learned over the past 10 years to make it a little bit easier for you, because I think that grief is hard enough, and if there's things that we can do, things that we can learn to make grieving a little bit easier, then I am all for it. And so I spend a lot of my time these days trying to look for new ways, new things to do, new information to share with you to help you. And again, you know, my fundamental belief is that no mom should grieve alone. And honestly, like someone reminded me this week, no parent should grieve alone, because there are dads out there who are grieving as well. So if you're one of them, please let me know, and let me know that you're here by dropping a note in the comments. And today I want to talk more about affirmations. I want to talk about the change that happens as a result of your loss. So one of the fundamental principles that I teach and that I talk to with my coaching clients is that going through the grief process is 100% going to change you, that you are going to change as a person. And sometimes that can come off as a problem because we don't want things to change. We want things to stay the same. And unfortunately, when it comes to grieving, the change is inevitable. There's nothing you can do about it. So my advice is to embrace that change and look at that change as an opportunity to create something new, maybe create something different. So any type of trauma, any type of loss is really an opportunity, like I said. And so it's a choice. And as I continue to tell everyone, you can choose to be a victim to what's happened to you, or you can fight to regain control, and really take back control of your life and what's happening to you. You can't change what happened to you, but you can absolutely change and look at what has happened to you in a different way. So every time we react to anything that's happened, any situation, we're going to react to it emotionally, we're going to react to it chemically, and it's going to change our physical state and how we feel in the moment. But you don't have to be your emotion. You don't have to be victim to your situation. You don't have to be victim to your grief. Although so many people choose to. But I want to talk today about affirmations. And I am here in North Carolina. My parents live in Edenton, North Carolina, and I made the choice to make the flight and to come out and see them because they are getting older. And I know that the inevitable will happen. I'm not really ready to admit it, and it's harder being here, thinking about it, talking about it. But it is what it is. And so I decided to bring my son, and he's 7, and let him spend some time with his grandparents because, again, the time is so critical. And it's the memories, and it's finding ways to live in the present moment and to say, this is what I have now. I know I'm not going to have it forever. I spend a lot of time in gratitude, learning how to be in the moment these days and how to be grateful for what is, not for what is missing. So I want to talk this morning about affirmations. And what is an affirmation? Affirmations are the things that you tell yourself, the words that you say to yourself over and over again. And if you're deep in grief, and you're experiencing loss, those things, we really need to be cognizant to what we're telling ourselves in our head, because a lot of times they're not necessarily positive. And so what I want to do today is really just bring awareness to that and have you realize what you're telling yourself, and start to take notice day after day what you're repeating in your head and what you're telling yourself. So think of it this way. If we use an example that's not related to grief, if you say, I'm stupid, one of my biggest fears in life is, or I guess one of the things I try to do the most is to try to not look stupid. It's just something that's always been important to me, and it's one of the things that really has been a driver for me, and it's held me back and it's kept me from doing things because I think to myself, well, what if I look stupid? So if you tell yourself, or if I tell myself I am stupid, or if I tell myself I am not stupid, the word that your brain hears is stupid. And so whether you say I'm not stupid or I am stupid, the word that your brain hears is stupid, and that registers. And every time I think it, even if I'm just thinking it within my head in my own inner voice, or if I say it to myself out loud, that's a repetition. And so the more of that repetition that might be negative, it's going to affect you negatively. So the exercise for today is really just to look and start to observe, what are the messages that I'm telling myself? Are you telling yourself I'm old? Are you telling yourself I am weak? Are you telling yourself I'm insecure? Are you telling yourself I'm miserable? I'm tired. I don't feel good. I am just exhausted. I'm depressed. I am anything that's negative. And again, I'm not saying that it's wrong, because trust me, I was there 2 years worth of I am depressed. I'm not doing anything else. I am just going to sit here in my victimhood and be miserable and be anxious. And I had every reason, and I had it all justified as why I could basically be miserable to myself and to everybody around me. And so I am as guilty as the next person. But what I've also learned is that you can turn that around and have it be something else. So I want to ask you now, and I'd love it if you dropped in a comment below if you're willing to, or maybe not, just write it on a piece of paper for yourself. What are the things that you're telling yourself? What is the repetition that's happening in your head? And when you say, I am, what follows that statement? And who are you right now, right? In this time, I'm not talking about who you see yourself to be in, the grand scheme of the world. This isn't that big of an exercise. Today, in this moment, in this day, in this time, I am what? I am grieving. I am a mother who's lost a child. I'm a mom of loss, or I'm a lost mom. I know I have a friend who says, well, I don't say that I'm a lost mom because I'm not a mom anymore. I had a child and now I don't have one. And so I don't say that I'm still a mom. And so that's what she tells herself. Do you tell yourself that you're unlucky, that this happened to you? I am unworthy because maybe you feel like you did something wrong. I am someone who should have, and anything that follows should have, right? That can be a problem. So think about what you're telling yourself and jot a couple of those things down and just spend today, recognizing that. And then what I want to invite you to do is say, how can I turn this around? I am what? Maybe you can say, yeah, I'm grieving, but I'm healing. Maybe you can say, I'm learning. Are you learning about your grief? I'm a huge proponent about learning about grief and the grief response and what happens to you as you grieve. Am I growing? Am I what? What would you enter that statement? For me, I am all about learning. I am in constant growth. I am spending time living in the present moment. That's what I'm most focused on right now. I am grateful for the time that I did have with my son. I am grateful that I was pregnant 3 times. I am grateful that I know that they were all 3 boys. And my oldest boy, or my living boy, Mason, I'm grateful for him. I'm grateful for my family. So I am in gratitude. What are the I ams that you can say? I'm getting through the day. I'm letting myself cry. I am healing. I am working through the pain. I am doing my best. So all of those things, think about what you're saying as I am and try to put it into a positive stint and repeat those things into your head as often as you can. So the first thing, remember we were observing what were we saying in the negative. You want to limit what you're saying from the negative perspective. What are you telling yourself that's negative that you're repeating over and over again? So first of all, let's slow that down. Let's stop that repetition. And then be able to say, well, how could I replace that with an I am that has more positive? Because every time you put that positive affirmation, those words of positivity, that's what you become. What you think about, you become. And it all relates to your mood. So the thoughts that you think make you feel the way you feel, and they make you behave the way you behave. So if you want to have a better day, the way to start is with your thoughts, and to be cognizant of what you're telling yourself, what you're repeating in your head, and try to say something a little bit gentler to yourself, right? So yesterday, I've started these days as part of Grief Inspired. Saturdays are self-care Saturdays, right? So what is the I am that you can use around self-care? I am giving myself grace. I am giving myself time alone. I am giving myself more sleep. I had somebody who told me they slept for 12 hours, right? That's amazing. Give yourself the rest, the peace, the time that you need, whatever that is for you. Maybe it's going for a run. Maybe it's being outside. I am is what's really important, and what you're thinking about and putting in your head and putting in your thoughts. And again, your thoughts dictate your feelings that dictate your behavior. So if you want your mood to be better, it starts with your thoughts. So again, choose positive thoughts. That will help you with your feelings and how you're feeling. And it will help with your mood overall. And again, I just want to leave you today with remembering that you can get through this, that this is likely one of the hardest things that you will do, but it doesn't mean that you can't get through it. It doesn't mean that you can't learn through it. It doesn't mean that you are on your own, because I believe that no mom should grieve alone. And if you are here and you're watching, then you are part of my tribe, and you are definitely not alone. And again, it's a new year, and everybody talks about the new year as an opportunity to start something new and to look at life from a new perspective in a different way. Let grief change you, as it will. Change doesn't necessarily always have to be bad. Change and accepting change is a choice. Do something different. Do something new in this new year, and let yourself evolve and become who you're supposed to be. What are you supposed to learn through this opportunity, through this trauma, through this crisis? Who can you become? And when you say I am, how do you want to finish that sentence? I am what? For me, early on, I didn't want to be miserable anymore. I wanted to be able to say I'm happy. I am joyful. I am grateful. That's what I've found. And it's taken 10 years, and I'm still on the journey. And I don't think you ever will ever end the journey. So it's not the destination. It is absolutely the journey. I am. I am. Who are you is the question for the day. Who do you want to be? Who do you want to become? Think those thoughts, have those feelings, and before you know it, that is who you will be. So have a great Sunday today. Be safe, be well, take care of yourselves. Self-care Saturday. Look tomorrow for Motivation Monday. So I'll give you some motivation to start out the week. And on Tuesday, we go through Toolbox Tuesday, which are concrete tools that you can use to help move you forward through your grief. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Share with people that you know that can use this message. And I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye now.